I can't believe it's been 2 years since I started paying off debt. Hi guys, Ashley from ashcashbudget here. If you're new to this channel, I am following the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps. I'm on baby step number 2, paying off about $42,000 in debt. And here we go over my budgets, my debt snowballs, some vlogs, some hauls, things like that. So if you want to continue to follow me on my journey, click the little red subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you can get notified whenever I post something new. Today is my March 2019 debt snowball update, and it is also my 2-year debt journey anniversary, I suppose. So continue watching after I've updated you with my March 2019 debt snowball, and then I'll go over some numbers with you from the last 2 years and a comparison of my first year of paying off debt versus this year of paying off debt. So if you're interested in seeing those numbers, please keep watching. But first, we'll go over my debt snowball update for this month and what I was able to pay in February. This is the layout I've been sticking with for a couple months now. This is my debt graveyard down here. These are all the bills that I have paid off, and now I'm just working on my student loans. So I have paid off the first 2 out of 7. These are the dates that I took them out on, and that's how they show up on my account. And if you're curious about whether they're subsidized or unsubsidized, that is what these S's and U's stand for. So of course I paid the minimum payment for all of them. I just pay $120 and it splits it up between these based off of what their minimums are. Technically their minimums come out to $119.86, but I round it up to 120. So the extra 14 cents is just evenly distributed between the last 5 loans. On top of that, I was able to put a debt snowball payment of, as you can see, I always mess up. I'm gonna have to go over this with my whiteout, but for now, let's just move it down here. I'm on my 3rd one, so I put $1,259.27 towards my 3rd student loan. This brings it down to $2,160.83. And by debt snowball standards, since I have broken these up individually now, that is my lowest student loan, and that is the one that I will work on until it is gone. The next one is down to $3,683.58. Then we have $5,347.33, $5,387.51, finally $6,995.56. That last one is finally under $7,000, which when I had originally taken it out, it was $7,000. So because of all the interest and everything, it's been staying above and it's finally down below. I think that was a pretty good amount considering that back in January, I was only able to put just the minimum payment towards anything. So I think coming back and putting over $1,200 towards the loan, I feel a lot better about that. That brings my total down to $23,574.81. So now I'm below $24,000, guys. It is getting insane. I'm getting so close. Now it started raining outside, so if you can hear that, I'm getting so close to hitting the halfway mark. So let's break it down. I always break these numbers down. If you're a nerd like me, you'll enjoy it. The total actual paid that I paid this month, which would be this snowball payment plus the $120 minimum payment, was actually $1,379.27. That makes the total actual paid from when I very first started 2 years ago $23,424.61. It's getting heavy out there. This is almost the same amount that I have right here. This is actually $150 more than what I have put towards debt in the last 2 years. That really gives me hope, guys, that I can try to knock the rest of this out in maybe 2 years, because my payments, I've paid almost that much. And the amount that I've lost to interest keeps going down every month. My total actual down, which is this old total here last month to this total this month is $1,299.36, which means I lost to interest $79.91 this month. Overall, I have a total down of $18,713.48, which means over this whole 2 years, I've lost $4,711.13 to interest, which is crazy. But I think it's looking up. It's getting much better. I'm about to hit that part where I'm almost halfway through my debt. Let's go over all the numbers from the previous 2 years and a comparison of the first year and my second year. If you see here, here's my 1 year in review. On the other side is my 2 years in review. So if we go down here, these are just basically the numbers that I just went over with you. So the actual paid to debt is this actual paid from the 2 years. So $23,424.61. And then I lost to interest right here, $4,711.13, which means over the 2 years, I've paid down $18,713.48 from when I first began. And that's because when I very first started, in March 1st, 2017, my number was $42,288.29. It's crazy to think of how much I had back then. And then on March 1st, 2018, when I hit my 1 year mark, I was down to $36,224.41. And then again this year, March 2019, this total amount here, $23,574.81. A little over $2,000 away from being halfway done with my debt. There's some extra numbers that I have calculated here. I wanted to compare my first year journey to this year journey because I know I felt very accomplished after my first year, and after kind of reviewing the two numbers, I thought I was doing okay, but after reviewing the two numbers, I feel much more proud of the progress that I made in this second year. I highly encourage you guys to reflect and see just how much you've done. I was thinking I had done about the same. It's kind of what it felt like because I'm almost halfway through and hopefully I can get it done within the next 2 years. It really all depends on, work situations and side hustles and things like that. But I'm gonna put that goal out there into the world. Let's go over some of the comparisons. Year 1, year 2, and this column over here is difference. I was able to pull this stuff from here, from last year's. In my first year, I put a total of $9,177.30 towards my debt, but I lost $3,113.42 to interest. So really, my total down, this $42,000 down to $36,000, was only $6,063.88, which I was pretty proud of. I mean, that's still really awesome considering I've got a variable income and slightly low income. I thought this is a great amount. I really am still proud of that. And I did make a little bit more last year income-wise than I did the first year, so that's also a factor. But year 2, I was able to pay towards my debt $14,247.31. But in that year, I lost $1,597.71 to interest. So really the total down from here 2018 to 2019 was $12,649.60. I have effectively doubled how much I paid off in my first year. I have paid off double the amount than I did my first year. Now the difference is I only put $5,070.01 more in payments towards my debt, but I also paid $1,515.71 less in interest. So if you see these numbers here, this is only bigger by like $5,000, but this interest payment, I have almost paid half of what I paid the first year because I got rid of all my high yielding credit cards, loans, and now I'm just left with the student loans, which is anywhere between 3.15 to like 6.5. That means the additional payments and less interest added up to $6,585.72 that I was able to knock it down more than I did the previous year. So if you'll see here, that's only a $6,000 difference, but this is a $12,000 difference, which is mind-boggling. It's awesome and amazing, and I'm so happy. I'm telling you guys, this plan works if you do the debt snowball and keep your eyes on the game plan, keep going. It really works. I really can only hope to reach these levels again this next year because, like I said, it's a variable income. Things change year by year, month by month, week by week. And to me, it already feels like it's a slower year than last year. So we'll see if I can keep up that momentum. But either way, I'm super proud of how much I have achieved. Finally, some extra numbers here. I went over my savings with you last year, so I thought I would go over with it again. The only thing that was missing here is my phone sinking fund, but it's only at $7 now. So I have an emergency fund, $1,507.40. In my January fund, which is my variable income fund, basically, whenever income is low, I could pull from this, but I have not really touched it at all. It's $1,410.23. Now, both of these, they just keep accumulating interest as well as moving, but everything else ebbs and flows, that gets larger and smaller depending on what's happening that month. Car maintenance has $102.01. Medical has $972.14. And I'm still waiting on some bills to come in, so that is why that is so high, because I'm trying to pay some stuff. If you watch my budget report, my budget plan, I kind of discuss all of that with you there. Gifts is at $15.68. Shows is at $68.40. Moving, I was able to, at this time last year, I had about 800 and some odd dollars in it, but now it's fully funded at $2,014.77. I funded it at up to $2,000, and that's just interest accumulated. Registration is at $60.38. I'm getting ready to use that up this month though to re-register my car. But overall in savings, I have $6,151.01. which is actually $1,147.29 more than last year that I had in savings. So overall, I have more savings as well as paying down a lot more debt. And then I kind of just went through and I took some of my major expenses. I didn't include, say, my dental cleanings or regular oil car maintenance, but as far as car repairs on top of that, or tires, my medical bills outside of like regular routine appointments, I have included here, as well as the rescued kitten, Shaquille, that my sister now has. Since I rescued her, I helped pay for a lot of her startup costs, so I kind of included that in here. This is my cash flowed. Now, a lot of this stuff might have come out of one of the sinking funds up above, but it was still cash flowed. Things kind of came in and out, and I'm glad I had the money to do these things. Dental, I had to have a root canal, and I also had to have like another crown done. It was a lot of work this year, so I ended up paying $1,549 towards dental, and towards medical so far $1,148.92, but I still have a lot of stuff coming up to pay. Car repairs was $832.19, not including regular oil changes. And then for the kitten, I paid $367.39. Now, all of this cash flowed amounts came up to $3,897.50. The reason I bring up these cash flowed things is because if you see here last year, I included the savings because I didn't have any savings before starting my journey. So the savings plus the amount that I had paid to debt plus the things that I cash flowed came out to $16,734 towards debt, savings, goals, and all of that. So that's why I've kind of outlined it here as well again. So if we take this amount, this $14,247.31 that I paid towards debt, plus the extra, not this amount, but the extra that I have on top of last year's amount for savings, $1,147.29, plus this cash flowed amount, $3,897.50. That means I have put towards my debts, my goals, my savings, cash flowing, all of that, $19,292.10 instead of just having it slip through my fingers again. I hope you enjoyed seeing all these numbers. I can't wait to see where my third year takes me, and I really hope I can try to get close to these numbers. I'm really proud of it, and it kind of gives me motivation to keep going forward. How long have you been paying off debt? Please let me know down below. I will, of course, put the links up above to subscribe and another video that YouTube will suggest for you guys, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.